Hello everyone, my name is Yadav Rajaram. I am a social science educator. Today I am going to teach you about electoral politics. Before I start with the chapter, I would like to ask you a few questions. Do you know what is democracy? So let me tell you, democracy is a form of government in which rulers or the leaders are elected by the people. And in a democratic country, elections are being conducted on a regular basis. And do you know that India is having one of the largest democracy in the world? And there are various types of governments prevailing in our country, in the world, out of which representative form of government is one and the most popular form of government that do we have in the world level. So representative democracy. What is representative democracy? It is a type of government under which people elect their leaders who would make decisions on their behalf. In a representative democracy, people rule through their representatives. It gives an opportunity to the people to decide who will make the law for them. Now, to elect the leaders in democracy, representative democracy, we have to conduct an election. So, what is election? Election is a mechanism by which people can choose their representative at regular interval. Not only this, but they can change if they wish to do. Now, who are people going to vote in these elections? Every citizen of India who is 18 years of age or above has right to vote without any discriminations of caste, creed, color, sex, religion, etc. Now, what do we need election or why do we need elections? So what is the need to have the election in a democratic country? First and the foremost important point is that people can choose their representative with the mechanisms of elections, and this representative is going to make the law for them. Without election, a democratic government cannot be set up. It has been rightly said that no elections, no democracy. People can choose who will form the government and take major decisions and which political party have better policies that will be useful to the people. Through elections alone, people can also get rid of their cruel and unpopular government, and in its place they can elect the popular government. Coming back to the next point, we can say that people can also choose their representative at regular. In a democracy, these elections are being conducted on a regular basis so that we can choose our leader who will be better for our country. Therefore, elections are essential in present times of representative democracy. Now, what makes election democratic in our country? The next topic which we are going to study, what makes an election democratic in our country? Everyone should be able to choose. This means that every people who are the part of this country should be given a right to vote. It does not mean that only the people of higher caste or the richer people will be given. In some of the country, it is the case like this. People who belong to the, who are paying tax, they were given the right to vote, or the people of the higher caste were being, but it is not like that in our country. All people were given the right to choose, and the value of vote is equal for every person. Next point, there should be something to choose from. Parties and candidates should be free to contest elections. Anybody can become a voter, anybody can become a candidate. So parties and candidates should be free to contest election and should offer a real choice to the voter. The next point, the choice should be offered at regular interval. Election must be held regularly after every 5 years. The candidate preferred by the people should be get elected. Election should be conducted in free and fair manner where people can choose whom they really wish to. Now, let's see the next point. It is good to have a political competitions or not. That these points can be divided into two forms. One is merit and demerits. First, we'll be studying about demerits of electoral competitions. So, electoral competitions demerits, let's start. In order to win the election, candidates certain times they give bribe to the voter. In order to win the elections, they provide a bribe in the form of money or some goods to them to create so that they can win. it creates a sense of disunity. So certain times these political competitions create a disunity among the people and factionalisms in every society. Candidate and parties use dirty method to win the elections. Not only this, people who want to serve the country really does not enter into these unhealthy competitions because they does not want to put themselves in such a situations where there is a controversies. So these were the few demerits of electoral competition. Now let's we see the merit of election. People will get the full right to vote and choose their representative. Our country, which has adopted the election procedures, is also counted as a democratic country. It helps to elect representative who will be going out and serving the country and the countrymen. After the people get the right to vote, they are considered as equal. So now what is our election system in our country? Especially we have Lok Sabha elections and Vidhan Sabha elections, which are held after every 5 years. The Lok Sabha elections are called general elections, and there are certain elections that are conducted in a particular constituency owing to the death. Certain times due to death or due to resignations of the members, there are elections conducted. That elections can be considered as a by-elections. Now, electoral constituency. Do you know what is electoral constituency? For the purpose of elections, larger area were being divided into a smaller part for the smooth functionings to carry out the work, that is called electoral constituency. The country is divided into electoral constituency for the Lok Sabha election and legislative elections. One representative who are elected from each constituency by the voter will become the leader. For the Lok Sabha election, the country is divided into 543 constituency. The representative elected from each constituency is called the member of parliament or MP. In the same way, similarly, each state is divided into a number of assembly constituency, and the representative elected from each constituency is called the member of legislative assembly or MLA. Now, there are certain seats are being reserved for backward class of people. So reserved constituency means certain seats were being reserved for the people who has not been uplifted into the society because of certain reason. So let's we learn something about reserved constituency. In the reserved constituency, in the open electoral, certain weaker section of the society may not get a chance to stand in the election because of the influence of powerful section. Hence, the maker of our constitutions were become aware about this. That's why they have started the concept of reserved constituency for the weaker section of the society, so that they can be also uplifted in the society and they can be also stand with equal power into the society. Certain constituency are reserved for the people who belong to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. Now, in the Lok Sabha elections, certain seats were reserved for the ST and SC in the proportion of their populations. In the Lok Sabha elections, we have something like for ST, it is been 47 and for SC, it is 84 seats were being reserved. These seats were reserved based on the proportion of the people of the particular categories. They may not have the required resources to conduct the elections. That's why they may have been provided with reserved constituency to contest election and win the elections. Now, next topic is voter list. So, we are very well aware about the voter list. So, what is this? The list of people who are eligible for voting prepared by the Election Commission. And we know that Election Commission is an independent body. They are not under the control of any political parties. So, this ensure that every one person in the country get an equal opportunity to choose their representative. So, in the voter list, with regardless with their caste, creed, color, gender, every citizens of the country who are 18 years of age are added into the voter list. This is an important step. It is linked with the first condition of democracy. Election, everyone should be get equal opportunity to choose their leaders. Different citizens from the different citizens differ from one another in many ways. Some are rich, some are poor, some are highly educated, and some are so educated and some are not educated at all, but still they have the right to vote, and their vote value is one, whether he is the richest person or he is the poorest person, whether he is the most educated or less educated. The value of vote is one for everyone. Now let's see about the nomination of the candidate. Any citizen's age should be minimum to become the nomination for the candidate. There are restrictions on people with criminal records, but those at the extreme cases. The candidate has to fulfill the nomination forms and give a security deposit when he is nominating his name for contesting an election in the particular constituency. Also, a legal declaration has to be made in detail of pending criminal cases against the candidate, assets and liabilities of the candidate, and the educational qualification of the candidate. Every citizen has to make a legal declaration giving its full detail of serious criminal case pending against the candidate, detail of the assets and the liability of the candidate and his family members, educational qualification of the candidate. The above mentioned information should be made public available so the voter can get an opportunity. On the basis of the informations, they can decide who can serve the country in a better way. Accordingly, they choose their best candidate by seeing their various details. As soon as the nomination is being done, the next steps starts with election campaigning. Election campaigning in India takes place 2 through 3 weeks before the date of announcement of the elections, in which during this campaign, candidate reach out the voters' house. They visit to the voters' house. Political leaders hold election meetings, rallies for informing the voter about the policies and their rules and regulations and their policies that is going to govern the country. The main purpose of election is to give people a chance to choose their representative, the government and the policies they prefer. Some of the political parties, some of the political candidates, they use campaign, they use different modes to conduct their election. In a election campaign, no parties or candidate can bribe, threaten to the voters. Certain points which we have to keep in mind. Influence the voter in the name of religions. Yes, you belong to our religions. Please give vote to us. No. No candidate can demand the people votes on the basis of religion, or they cannot use a government resource for campaigning. Especially the ruling party who are on the power, they cannot use a government resources for campaigning. Now, the next step is that they cannot spend more than 25 lakhs for the Lok Sabha elections and 10 lakhs for the assembly elections. Hold election proportion in place of worship. They cannot arrange their meetings on the place of worship, or they cannot use a government aircraft or vehicles government official for campaigning. On the announcement of election, ministers cannot take policy decisions or start any big project which could put the coming leaders into the problems. Now, polling and counting of votes. The final stage of an election is the day when the voter casts their vote. This day is actually called the election day. Every person whose names are there in the voter list go to the nearby polling situated in the government school or offices. A person get identified by the officials, mark on their fingers and cast the vote for the candidate whose they want to vote. Agents of the candidate are permitted to be seated inside the polling booth for ensuring a fair voting should take place over there. Electronic voting machines are used nowadays for casting the vote instead of ballot paper. Once the election gets over, counting of the votes begins after few days of elections, and after that the results are being announced. The voter results of the winning parties are being announced. And last, thank you everyone.